Wicked, wicked. Now, what about the Bell Warriors Bantam team? Give us a little rundown on what you guys were up to.
All right. Well, let's look at the Bantam. So the Bell Warriors, who I am helping on the defensive side there, our Bantam team played the Orleans Bengals at the new field in Millennium. So good experience for some Western NCAFA teams seeing that field for the first time. Some of the parents really had some great things to say, and were kind of speechless, eyes open, jaws dropped at the amazing facilities they built out there. So the score there was 30 I think 37-0. So as far as the Warriors go, they boost up to they stay at number 3. So the power rankings this week, the Lions, Raiders, and Warriors stand at 1, 2, and 3. Nothing's changed there. There are some drops in other places, and some other teams that have boosted up. Just a general impression of my team, how they played. I think the defense really came together. If anything, I would say that we still have some work to do as a team, maybe just coming together and figuring out, supporting the starters, not worrying about how much time everyone's getting, and just focusing on the team goals. So that's something I know that the coaching staff there is going to be working on, that culture this week. But Orleans drops another one. There's loads of talent there, but for some reason they're just not that dynamic at this point. They're not really pushing the ball down the field at all. And on the other side, I spoke about the marquee matchup in the podcast last Monday, would be the Canada Knights versus the Gloucester South Raiders.
Yep.
And we were looking to see, because we didn't know, coming off of the 40-10 win that Canada had over the Wolverines, we thought this could be a game. It really wasn't. It was a 46-6 victory for the Raiders. And those highlights, in fact, all four divisions, the Tyke, Mosquito, Pee-wee, and Bantam highlights are up on HESN, released today, and so you can go check out and see what went down in those games. But at the Bantam level, the Raiders are for real. It's going to be a challenge, I think, for any team in the Bantam division to match up with these guys. There's just so much firepower. Quick kind of shout out watching the highlights. I wasn't there personally at the game. We had a shooter shooting there, and I call them the triplets. I'm going to name it right now off the bat. We got number 1, number 2, and number 3. I think number 1 and number 2 are running backs, just really quick, agile, hard runners. Number 3 looks like a free safety and a kick returner. He returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, 1 called back on the opening kickoff. But I mean, that tells you that you got guys wanting to hit. The special teams are working out there. And number 12, a quarterback, shakes off tackles, sticks with the play, keeps his eyes downfield, and completes passes. So offensively, these guys are dangerous. They pretty much walk over the Canada team over there. Which we were talking to Dan Lachance, the president of Canada, and he was saying, you know what, that Canada team's a junior team, much like the Warriors were last year. They got Jared Valentino, number 12, a quarterback who was an OV. He was actually the backup to James Keenan, who's the Warriors starter. So, I mean, this is how this whole Ottawa football community things work. We see the homegrown talent returning in the fall to their spot, and with the 2-year platoon at Bantam and Pee-wee, and they're going to have a junior team. I think the goal is to make progress and then come back and give the A Cup a run in the second year. So Canada looks like they're kind of where the Warriors were last year. The Raiders and the Warriors, at this point, take it for what it is, number 2 and number 3 seem to be the teams that people are going to be gunning for. At number 4 and number 5, so the Knights drop down from 4 to 5, and the Giants boost up. The Giants make a huge win over the West Carleton Wolverines. So we're going to bump them all the way up after the big win there. Yep. So they go from 8 all the way up to number 6.
Big jump.
Number 7, the Canada Knights with that big loss go from 3 all the way down to 7. Wolverines at 8. The Eagles at 4. Eagles win over the Panthers. And I've been talking to Dwayne Knight, the head coach over there. He played some very high ball in his day. He's on the police force. Awesome guy. Great coach for that organization. And he's, you know what? He's got a competitive crew over there. We were able to watch a bit of them in week 1 against the Raiders, and I think execution was kind of the issue there. But there's no doubt that they've got some players there. So once they get a little bit more crisp on offense, I think the Eagles are one to watch out for. The Riders, they win their game this week, so they're 1-1. So they're sitting at 5. Like I said, Giants 6, and then you got kind of the rest of the pack there falling in and jostling for the last 4 or 5 positions.
And those last positions, those are sort of week-to-week positions. You a lot of times at this time of year, I think a lot of teams are still working out the kinks, trying to get used to the system, get used to playing some real serious ball. So you expect some of those teams to maybe have a little bit of a run later in the season. Always a couple teams that start off slow, come on strong at the end.
If we look back to 2 years ago, remember with JP Simakinda as running back, first year at Bantam with the Lions.
Yep.
I think they went 4-4 and won their last 4 before they
went to the championship.
Lost in the Well, I think didn't they lose in the quarterfinals and then they came back the next year and won it?
I guess that would have been 3 years ago because they're back-to-back champions.
Right. Yeah.
So that's always the great thing, and you know what? That's great insight from you there, Jesse. Just sort of going over. It's amazing how everyone I know and how well ingrained you are into the Bantam. But that's just great insight about the level of the teams and get everyone prepped so that next week. Now, if you're gonna say the best matchup to watch in the Bantam division next year, next week, what game would you be telling people to go watch?
Yeah, good question, man. Well, I'd say it starts with Friday night. Let's make this a whole weekend affair. Not sure when the Red Blacks play. I think they got Calgary coming up, but they might be on a bye, no?
I think they're on a bye this week.
I think they're on a bye, and then they go in Calgary, which leaves that Friday night spot open for that Norseman Eagles game at Bob Stevens Field. So another grass game under the lights. So I would go check that one out. As far as the Bantam division goes, it looks like the marquee matchup. HESN will be at the North Gloucester Giants versus the Orleans Bengals at all 4 levels. You've got the Raiders and the Bel Air Lions. So that's 1 and 2 going against. So if you're going to go watch a Bantam game, you got to go 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon at Notre Dame High School, where the number 1 Lions are taking on the number 2 and up-and-coming challenger Raiders. So that's the one you got to go to.
Nice. That's a must-see game if you got an HESN hot take game to check out. It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. And then Warriors have the Wolverines at Wolverines 1-1, Warriors 2-0. So I think that's my recommendation to the people.
The biggest youth football event is coming to Ottawa. EFC3 this November. Register now at HESN.co. Know where you stand. Get tested. Get ranked.